are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about crypto and the crypto market, state of the crypto market. What the actual heck is going on? We are red once again. Bitcoin is going down even more, and it's only the beginning of the week. And we have expected, to be quite honest, that the Bitcoin price will go and see a green week this week, but this didn't happen actually. So we have to talk about what is going on, and also let's talk about and discuss a little bit the recent developments in Ecomi and Veve, and speculate a bit as well about the future development, about potential exchange listings for Ecomi and so on. All of that right after the intro. So, good morning to all of you. We have Pro Legendary here already in the chat. Today my altcoin portfolio bleeding is like hide the pain, as there's no other way. I fully agree with you. I think my portfolio is down big time as well. I think it's down about 3% or so. That is absolutely crazy. Now, guys, make sure to smash up the like button. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, with notifications on, very important. And thank you to all my rare hodlers, Pro Legendary, one of them. I'm sure there are a couple of more here. With morning coffee, is always the thing that people are driving to work, people are brushing their teeth, people are in the shower, whatever. So if you're not one of them, then smash up the like button. If you're driving, then please don't smash up the like button. Very dangerous. So let's directly take a look here at the Bitcoin price. I hope you guys had a great weekend, by the way, because it's Monday. I know Monday feels like a car crash or something like that. So we are taking a sip of coffee against it. Now, look at that. Weekly performance of Bitcoin, and we've just started the week. We've just closed the weekly, and we are down another couple of percent. So that obviously hurts. And when Bitcoin bleeds, altcoins bleed harder. So we kind of invalidated this. So we did not retest in the end on top of this downward sloping previous resistance, now support. No, we actually we failed, and now we're looking at something that is more like an M pattern or so, which is not good. And a completed M pattern with a break to the downside would bring us to way lower prices. So let's see how it plays out. But the crucial support is this here, and it has a long history already. Here a little bit of reaction, and then here as support and we are going to very likely test it once again, which means that we are probably going to lose another couple of percent, going to 61,000 for Bitcoin. So that would be another roughly 2% downwards. And then we will see if we can hold the support. Now, what is going on here is obviously we're having a shakeout. Yeah. And you could also say, instead of an M pattern, you could say that's something like an A, B, C correct style like correction. But yeah, we will see how it plays out. So we are going to reset a little bit the fear and greed index here. And that is what is going on right now. Fear and greed is actually up to this point at 51. If you're looking here, so we are in neutral territory for fear and greed index. Probably some of you are feeling some kind of anxiety and fear here already. It's nothing close to what we've experienced in this bear market. And it's unusual for Bitcoin to go into a fear and greed territory of sub 50 or significantly sub 50 in a bull run. So you see here in the previous bull run, there was absolutely nothing like this, other than in the very initial stages, in the very initial corrections. But after that, it was just only pump, only going on. We will see if we experience it that way. Every bull market is slightly different, but for now, the fear and greed index is still fine. People are not too fearful just yet, but we see we came down from extreme greed to neutral. So I would even say a little bit more of this, and then we should be done. And then we should be coming up again. And we could continue to range here, don't get me wrong. I think the projection should be ranging for another, I mean, these are weeks, right? So not much more, because maybe the July is another bit of ranging, and then from there we should at some point start to go up. And there are good arguments for us to go up. So maybe let's first take this quote. I think I really like this quote, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Bitcoin makes everyone stop and think about what money is. That fact alone makes Bitcoin a success. And that is very true, because I think since the inception of Bitcoin, since the space exists, the crypto space is teaching and making people actually consider what money is and what how finance really works, how money works, how central banks work, how states' financial policy works, and so on. So basically, Bitcoin and crypto is teaching lessons every single day, and I think that is very important, because otherwise none of us would be here sitting on YouTube every day and taking in something new about Bitcoin and crypto and so on. So we had this thing happening over the last days. Michael Dell, founder and CEO of Dell Technologies, is now talking about Bitcoin. He somehow thinks that the Cookie Monster is funny. That's fine. But he also retweeted stuff from Michael Saylor, and I think it's only a matter of time until he will declare a bigger holding in Bitcoin, or show us how much he has, or maybe even move Dell into holding some Bitcoin. There are a couple of important events coming up, not today, but tomorrow. One of them is consumer confidence, which is interesting, right? New home sales, also interesting. Jobless claims, very important, because a softening job market is important for the Fed then in turn to say, okay, maybe we start cutting rates. And then also core PCE inflation on Friday. So there are a couple of very interesting things coming up in the next or during this week, including some of the Fed members talking, so which also has usually some impact on the market. By the way, guys, let me know in the chat how you feel about the crypto market, and also if you can hear me all right, if everything's fine, let me know. Otherwise, I need to tune up the microphone. Just let me know this directly. So here's an interesting thing. Bitcoin could be waiting for the US presidential elections before the rally continues, because historically that has been the case. So it's interesting, right? Because if we look back to 2012, we have the sideways consolidation here around the election, and then also here in 2016, here that's where the elections were. So we had a pre-bull and then a consolidation. Halving and elections obviously are very closely together, but and then here also we pumped into the elections. So could we be stalling and waiting until almost November until we see that big pump? Could it be that we will go sideways for another couple of months and experience more shakeout, more downside, more choppy price action? That will be a rough couple of months if that's the case, because then we have July, August, September and October in front of us before we really go into that action. But that was how it historically played out. At around the elections, it was really going off. IC54 says, I should have listened to Sell in May, Go Away. I'd be able to more than double my bags right now. Yeah, absolutely. And we actually discussed this. Could we see a Sell in May, Go Away event here? That this was a likelihood. So thank you for bringing that up. I actually think that there is some truth to it, right? And even the stock market doesn't even care. It's more in crypto now than in stock market. Hey Blaze13, what is going on? GMPH, good morning to you as well. Let's have a sip of coffee here and then see what else is going on. Okay, so the real reason is for us in crypto, for risk on assets, is this one. Maybe I can move myself up down here so we can really see that. LK Franklin says, this is why trading is bigger than hodling. Doesn't matter what direction it goes. Yes, you can make the most out of it if you really nail these moves to the upside, to the downside, but in the long run, hodling works for Bitcoin, right? For altcoins, depends, right? There are so many altcoins that never came back. So I agree with you that trading is bigger than hodling, but you also have to consider your own capabilities in trading, and how big of a time frame in trading you need to make the most of it, right? So I think trading is not for everyone. For example, for me, I will have to try it, obviously, to try it on a shorter time basis than only trading the big cycle. I think it's good. Even Bitcoin compounding your gains by trading rather than hodling is many times better. I think to have it secure, probably it's good to have a hodl bag and a trading bag. And then also you have to keep one thing in mind. For example, in Germany, we have to pay income tax on everything that we didn't hodl for more than a year. So the tax is, it's still a gain, right? But there's quite some nasty tax on short-term trades and gains. So, for example, if I put $1,000 into an altcoin and it goes 3x, I have 2,000 profit and I have to pay 40% on that one. So I have to always set this aside, right? That's for sure. Anyways, and it could be, if you're very successful, it could be as much as 50% here in Germany. So that is definitely a problem. James Nguyen says, hello from California. Yes, just like America, short-term tax is insane. Yeah, I don't know how people are doing that with the trading, or if this even matters. But yeah, maybe LK can say something about this, because not many people are actual traders probably. So maybe you can say how you deal it. Do you just set after every trade? Do you just separate what you have to pay in tax so you don't lose it all and then get wrecked by tax? Justin says, go lower, Omi. We will see in a second. So, the global liquidity cycle. We have it here, just above me. And it's, I mean, you see the black line is the actual liquidity, right? The actual monetary expansion and contraction. It is, though, pretty accurate. It doesn't swing as much as this red line suggests, but the red line is more or less the momentum in which direction we are going. And interestingly, we have been in a contraction which we did not see since a long time. Like that deep of a contraction we did not see since a long time. And this contraction, it basically stopped, more or less when we bottomed in the end of last year. So now we see that the swing is going the other way. And every time, traditionally, when, and I will move my camera just a little bit more so that you can actually see the dates. So let me move this to the upside here. No, let's move this to the upside here. So here's the dates on the bottom line. And you see that there's actually, when this last expansion went crazy, that was our bull market. And then before also here, right? And only here is so choppy that we really cannot derive much from it. But also that was our 2016-17 bull market was here. So, and here we see the peak is where also our bull market more or less peaked in the last bull market. So now, bear market, previous bear market, we just have the curve. So the expansion has just started and it's probably going to go on for another year. So this is another argument for us to go on a big crypto expansion in the next year. So risk on assets really love this environment, and they really hate this environment that we just had. So there is a good argument that this expansion will drive crypto to new highs. Let me see here for what LK said. Capital gains tax in UK is 10.20 for higher rate. There is also a 12,300 annual allowance on CGT that should be 10%, 20%. Okay, so you have a free, in Germany it's only 600 euros, the free value, the tax-free value. There is another pot on financial gains, but this financial gains tax and financial gains free value is only for stocks and stuff like that, right? And interest gains on savings and whatever, right? So it doesn't count for crypto in Germany. So if you earn some good money and you have a high tax, you will also be highly taxed on your trades. So that for sure sucks. And £12,300, that would be the equivalent of 15,000 euros. So, or something like that, right? Maybe it's 13,000 or 14,000, I don't know, but it's somewhere there and thereabout. That is 14 times higher than we have it in Germany for the stocks. So in stocks you have 1,000 euros free annual, and in crypto it's only 600. So that's even it's 20 times, right? So really, you can't really make any gains in Germany in the short term. You have to you're basically forced to hodl. I mean, 60% of your gains is still better than nothing, or 50%, but it still sucks, right? So you make those gains, like you make 1,000 euros on a trade, you have to put basically 400, 500 to the side, and then you have those extra 400, 500 to do your next trade instead of really trading. LK Franklin says, wow, Germany hates crypto and traders, explains why they dump BTC. Maybe. The other side in Germany for the hodler is everything that you hodl beyond 1 year is tax free. So there's no tax at all then. Big A says, I start my first day at McDonald's in the morning. I should really be sleeping. You for real? You're going to McDonald's? And you're fulfilling the meme? Are you an Omi hodler? Yeah, we all are. Okay, we all are. That's the problem. We still have some hopes here, by the way. Oh, I had the chat out of here. Now there you go. A little bit more on this. So here you see that, so this chart here is the total assets of the Federal Reserve, and this ties into the liquidity cycle, right? So what happens is this is flattening out. So the Fed had been selling off assets for the better of the last 2 years. What the fuck? Pro legendary. Anyone here interested in buying my kidney? We don't do any organ trading here, but you heard the man, so maybe someone wants a kidney. Anyways, guys, by the way, we have like 30 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button. Please smash up the like button for this stream. Big A says, I sold all my OMI last June, was 5x on that money, but now down barely 2x. Okay. So, again, the total assets of the Federal Reserve, what basically happens in every cycle is that when shit hits the fan, that central banks are loading up on assets. So after a crash, right? So when money expands. But then after a while in quantitative tightening, they are selling assets into the market and diluting the market, so to say. On a broader scale, that's basically what happens in a crypto bear market. So now we see that this sell-off in the balance sheet is basically it came to an end. It's more or less flatlining. So the sell-off is not increasing anymore. The balance sheet holds stable, so to say. What we're expecting is that at some point they will start buying assets again and ease. So which would mean that they would pump liquidity into the market. We see global liquidity already going on. Now this is the US. For the US, we're still awaiting this signal. The question is, when will it start? Except other coins, except OMI. Damn, people really, really mad at Ecomi, right? So the other thing that is going down is the balance, the Bitcoin balance on exchanges. So while the price is choppy and sideways, actually the balance on exchanges is just dropping like a rock, implying that at some point that will cause a price surge because of a supply shock. So we see the supply really going down hard. That is good for Bitcoin. Hey Troy, what is going on? Hello, patient hodler. How are you doing, my man? So here's another thing on metrics, which I found interesting. So there was only one other time in Bitcoin's history when the 2-weekly Gaussian channel flipped green, and there was only one other time when it was red, and both of them were behind the bottom. And this ties into what I'm saying since months here now, that I think that we're more or less mimicking this 2017 bull run, where we're just curving out in a very long long stretched curve into the next bull run, and I think this is going to happen again in this one here. Justin says buying more Omi if it dips. Yeah, hopefully it stops dipping at some point, because it's dipping at a lot, right? But what do we see here? We see a massive run should be happening once we are significantly above this overhead resistance, which is like here, a point for choppy price action. So we should be going really crazy here. The only thing that is really, there is one thing in the charts that is really bad, and I would like to show this to you, and that is the stochastic RSI. Okay, stochastic RSI. So the stochastic RSI on the monthly. Okay, so here we see it, and that is, so we're here, right? The month is big red, and the stochastic RSI is with both lines in this blue zone, which is not good at all, because never in the history of Bitcoin the orange line has closed in this zone, and here you see it even better. We are in it already. It's not a problem if we are in it for now, but if we close the month with it in it, we could have a big problem, because look at that. Every time that we came into that, we had a massive crash going on. All right. So the last time that this happened, one second. Where's the? Sorry. Nope. What is happening? Okay, there we go. The last time that this happened was here in at our first top, right? And we crashed and then we came back up. But every other time we didn't do this in a bull run. So we just stood above it, and when we had this cross into this blue zone on the stochastic RSI, we had a massive crash into the next bear market. So I really don't like, because here, right, we have this we went back into the zone and we had a massive crash, this crash. And then, yeah, basically we never had this orange line come back into the zone without at least, what is this here, 70% crash. Here it is a 83% crash, and here it was let me see, from here to here it was a 76% crash. So we really don't want to have this slow line, so to say, of the orange line close inside. So we kind of want to have in the last days some positive price action in the last days. Otherwise we could see some pretty nasty price action. Also here, right? When this happened, we have this cross in. We had the pump still, but then we had a huge crash. Will we buy the dip? For now, I would say yes, because again, I'm not a trader like LK is, for example. So I am going to hodl and just increase my bag. So even if we crash more, I would just slowly DCA into it. I just want to make you aware that if we lose this level and we close the monthly inside of this here, that we might, and this is only one indicator, but we might have a nasty crash in front of us if this happens. Okay, so just be aware. LK is a billionaire, I bet, says James. I don't know. I don't know actually. So Let's look at this also. So there's some serious liquidity piling up at 73,000 more or less. So look at this here, and on the bottom, there's some liquidity here on this bottom at 61,000, where the price could move as well. But what we know from the past is that there's actually these liquidity pockets. They basically are like a magnet to the price. So at some point, probably the price wants to go and get rid of this liquidity pocket. And that's 73,000. So that would be some kind of a bigger price surge. So you really see here, we have some conflicting information, and you're like, what the heck, Patient Hodler? Just make up your mind. Are you saying it's crashing, or are you saying it's pumping? Usually when Bitcoin is the dumpiest, afterwards it's the pumpiest, right? That's the general rule. However, I really don't like the stochastic RSI here, and I want to see how it plays out first to make an educated guess on where things could be going. But I mean, we could see how much do we have left. We kind of have 6 days and 20 hours left for this to just turn around and bounce and have the stochastic RSI close in that zone. So that's for sure. Now, let's move on to, okay, so here are the outflows. I will bring a video out later today where I'll discuss a little bit more about the current condition of the market. So I'm not going to go too deep into that. Let's quickly have a market watch here. Look at how the market is doing at the moment. So we see that Bitcoin really has a, let's put it a little bit more like this. So Bitcoin really has a rough day at the moment. 6% down on the week, 3.5% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, same thing, pretty down last 24 hours. 5% on the week. We see that, for example, Solana corrects way harder than Ethereum. So 15% down on the week. So Solana is really, really taking a hit here. But on the other hand, also, Solana is still up 630% on the year to date. Whereas, for example, if you're in XRP, you have no gains whatsoever. So, and we see here, for example, Toncoin 400%, down 8%, right? So year to date, most altcoins are actually green. Like we have kind of OKB, for example, minus 10%, but Chainlink is up 108%. Chainlink, one of the favorite picks here on the channel. Let's see. Bitcoin Cash. I never understood what's so interesting about this, but also up 81%. Near Protocol 250%, but also still down on the last month 35%. So there are some coins that have significantly dipped, and that is where I think there could be a buying opportunity here for us. So if you really like some of these coins, there is a good chance to get into them. I might look at stuff like Polygon-matic just because from all on-chain data it's good project. I mean, 5 billion, there might be a 10x in Matic still, or out of Matic, but not much more. It's down 20% on the year, so really underperforming until now. Arbitrum is another one, 30% down on the year. Also not too bad of a project to get into, in my opinion. But then you see many people like to buy what has already pumped so much, right? So these here are up 500%. Fetch AI and Casper, people like to buy this. I'd like to focus on things that haven't pumped yet, but also are not so weak. So for example, even though Chainlink is up 108%, for me, Chainlink is the absolute blue chip. 100% on the year compared to other coins is not that too much in my opinion, and a dip of 25% is definitely something that I can get behind and buy more of Chainlink. So Chainlink definitely one of my favorites here. Also, for example, IMX, I think is a really good one here to get into. Render has lost many of their gains, but they already have been pumping way before. So, but Render, for example, is also a fantastic project. Let's see here what is other than that. What was correcting really hard? The graph corrected really hard. Let me just pull this up here so you see it. So the graph is in risk of falling out of the top 50, which is obviously not good. But if the graph continues like this, I also will probably get more of the graph. It only is 1.7 billion in the tops. I really like the graph as a project. 40% drawdown, that's definitely something where I want to get into. I just need the liquidity to do all of that, because there are definitely more projects than money to grab. Okay. The funny thing is, with all of that drawdown going on, Bitcoin dominance didn't really go lower, and that's because the altcoins are just getting wrecked on the Bitcoin drawdown. And Bitcoin Cash has a cult following, and Bitcoin Cash has been. There were some trades in the beginning of the year on Bitcoin Cash. I remember there was only a couple of coins green, and Bitcoin Cash was one of them. It had some exchanges listing them and stuff like that. So really weird stuff to me in this Bitcoin Cash. But Bitcoin dominance is at all-time high still, which implies it's Bitcoin season. And for me, that's just where I want to get into altcoins before Bitcoin dominance crashes. Okay, let's continue with. Let's look. Let's have a quick look on altcoins before we get into the rest. So altcoins, let's see how they're doing. So we kind of talked about this support here, and this is a support that I really want to see to hold for altcoins, because otherwise there is only one last chance support, and which would be kind of it's more like a zone, right? It's on here. So I would say if this doesn't hold, then there are a couple of more supports. This one, and then I'd say this one here, which is more or less on top of this, and after that you're basically back to bear market, right? But I would really like to see this one hold, because then, I mean, this is just a bullish move to overhead resistance. You come back down so deep and then you flip it into resistance, right? So this being the new support for altcoins would be the biggest, let's say, bullish move, right? If we get a drawdown so if we lose this and we go down here, 13% collectively out of the altcoin market would be insane, right? If we get 23%, fear will be unbelievable. So this is really going to be interesting if we can hold this or not, or if we will crash lower. And this also depends on Bitcoin, how Bitcoin will perform during this week, actually. So it's really crucial that Bitcoin doesn't go into a crash behavior, because otherwise altcoins will just get massacred completely. So we will see. This week is really, really crucial for crypto, in my opinion. Okay, so the one altcoin that's definitely contributing to the downswing is Ecomi. Let's look at Ecomi. Ecomi on the monthly. The funny thing is, on the monthly, Ecomi reclaimed so far this support. So if we would close the monthly like this, that would actually not be that bad. I said it in the last stream on Friday that I would like to have Ecomi reclaim this level and hold it, to not have some kind of a bearish retest here. And at the moment, we are in this level. So Ecomi is, from that perspective, not looking too bad, actually. So what we want to see in the long term is that it comes back back into this range, right? And continue trading in that range, at least. But for now, if we could close above 0005, that would be already a positive. So let's see how this looks on the daily. On the daily, you clearly see it. On the daily, you just want to close above this, right? Because we see these mega sell-offs here. So this is some insane selling pressure. And just now, this is still a downtrend, right? If you close here, there's still a downtrend. Lower highs, right? Not good. On the other hand, some kind of a compression going on here. I would really like to see Ecomi reclaim this, to be sure. Otherwise, you see all of this confluence here, and if you come up here and hit your head, that's the next trajectory, right? We don't want this. So we want to really have this Ecomi go and close above this. Weekly close would be best. What do you think about Sol and XRP? I think Sol has already pumped too much. There are better altcoins in the market. You saw it's 600% up. So if you are in Solana and you are up those 600%, that's a different story. But to get into it right now, I don't really see that, right? And XRP, I don't know if XRP can actually come back from years there is not much narrative around XRP at the moment, right? So I'm not bullish on either one of them. If you look at OMI BTC chart, it shows that you would have been much better off buying BTC, except for that one explosive month OMI had years ago. Yeah, Ecomi is losing against BTC, as many other altcoins are doing. Not all of the altcoins, but most of the altcoins are doing that. That's just the nature. It cannot be differently, otherwise Bitcoin dominance would not go up if altcoins would not collectively lose against Bitcoin. Yo, Trucking Hank, what is going on? Smash the like button. It's still interesting to look at what is going on with Ecomi, because in my opinion, if they could get their stuff together, right, that would be great. That would be great. So here, let me just stretch out so that we can read the necessities here, which I wrote into this thing. Yeah, OMI to NFT, exchanges, burns, and cater to Web3 community. If you can get this together, I don't see any like with burns, right? I don't see any problems for just going ballistic. There's no problem. But the problem is so there is a problem, and that is that all of this is not here, right? So we get this, we go crazy, in my opinion. Let's see a little bit. So what I found interesting, and now we are getting really to the speculative territory, and we have speculated so much over the last 3 years. But I saw this and many other things around this. So Crypto.com and HTX started to meme with a lot of things that we are seeing on Veve, right? So they're like, that just added Bitcoin to your portfolio feeling, and then they went that one crypto that's about to go super saiyan, and then they had the Spider-Man, that one crypto that is going to break the web. So obviously we don't know if we get Dragon Ball on Veve, which is why it is such a stretch. But on the other hand, the Spider-Man, then we have the publisher of this IP, right? For Veve, for Ultraman, and then the Thanos. So there's the Spider-Man, there's Dragon Ball, there's Thanos. Could it be that they agreed, like, could it be that the Ecomi team paid for the listing in the end? Could it be that they are kind of teasing? On the other hand, why would you? So this is a speculation, right? So now let me play devil's advocate here and say, why would you do that? Because Ecomi has, let me show this to you, like literally not much volume, right? So the volume, the trading volume of Ecomi is 142,000, right? That's not much volume. So they're at place 231. Why would you tease a coin that has that much of a trading volume, and the project has, like, it's a super strong community, right? But just to manage our expectations, why would you go with a coin? Let's just go to page, what is that page? We need to go at least to page 4 to go into the realm of the same coins, like top 200 or so. Okay, and let's go right to the page where Ecomi is, and now we're looking at the volume of similar projects. 8 million, 11 million, 9 million. Zilliqa, right? 9 million. PAL AI version 2, 2 million. 0x0, 450k. Ontology, 6 million. Audius, 15 million. LCX. So you really have a hard time to find a coin that has a trading volume as low as Ecomi's. RBTC, 187 is higher. So Finskia, Terra Virtua, 389,000. Mask, 30 million. Silo, 15 million. Like, the list is long, right? So this is the problem. So I like the theory, right? I like the theory about this, that this could have something to do with Ecomi. And the only argument for this would be Ecomi has a super strong community. But then again, why would you list it? Why would you list a token that only has a trading volume of 140k? Unless there is something coming to this token. Trucking Inc. says being in the voting brought some more awareness. Well, it brought awareness, that is for sure. I think that is great. The question is now, how much do we get from this? By the way, we are pumping a little bit. Look at that. We are at 5688. 5688. We're pumping a lot. So this is good. Oh, look at that. We have a pump stream, guys. I think it's because we're streaming. We're the only one that is streaming right now. So this is definitely us, guys. Make sure to pump the like button. We have a pump day. So now we're approaching exactly that area here. So come on, let's just push it a little bit. Come on, do something. Oh no, it gets rejected. 0057 though, that's good. Let's see here. While we're pumping, let's see the chat. Ecomi is pumping, guys. Smash the pump button. Duck and Cover is here. Hello, hello. Good morning. Daniel is here. Someone is buying Omi right now. 12% in 1 hour. Yep. LK the billionaire. James is going at it. So yeah, maybe LK is just trading on on our stream. Just joking. Troy Paris says yes, could be something big. David said June was supposed to be something big, and we are almost at the end of June. You're right. You're right. He said June's going to be big. Okay. What? But could we have already seen the big June thing? Wasn't Blackpink in June? Oh no, it was like Blackpink and something else big, right? So maybe also this is whales that are in the know front running this big thing. Could that be? So we're up 20%, which is crazy, right? And if we count from the very look at this volume, by the way, on this one day, right? So we are from that bottom, we're up 40%. That's not too shabby. Come on, pump a little bit more. Let's go. Let's do a pump. Veve is going to go big. So much IP on Veve. Yeah. So I think on the long term, I agree. I am bullish. Oh, look at that. We're getting sold off. That's not good. Maybe we need to talk quickly about some more bullish stuff here, so that we don't get sold off here too much, right? So who is selling? Who of you guys is selling? So we had 33 people watching. Now it's 32. Someone went offline to sell. Patient hodler, you are a patient hodler. Yes, I am. I am indeed. I am. Who of you guys is selling off Ecomi at resistance? That is not what we wanted, but we're going to. Yeah. Okay. But okay. So the exchanges, they are teasing. There is a big thing according to David coming. We'll see if it comes in June. I wish I had more to buy the dip, but I am dipped out. Yeah, I mean, if you buy the dip of the dip of the dip, that's definitely not good. Okay, so let's see what Veve has in store for us. So they're bringing this heart-shaped hand grenade thing from an artist. Well, to each their own, right? Whoever likes this, I'm just okay. It's a hand grenade in shape of a heart, and for sure. Oh, by the way, that's Elmon X and Nick Walker. So Elmon X is actually partnering here. This is interesting. Elmon X, cool. And then we also have the Up character series coming. Another Disney IP, another Pixar IP, which is cool. But that's not the big thing, right? I mean, let's give it both a like. This gets these things get some cool views, by the way, in the bear market. This is good. 10,000 views on Pixar is fine. Let's see the article for the Pixar thing. Troy Paris, are you thinking of going to NY Comic Con? I wish, but I don't have the holiday days, nor do I have the funds. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But I would really love to go, but I don't have the monies. I don't have the monies for that, and I don't have the spare holiday days. I spend it all on Italy, and what I have left over I need for the next Brazil. So 2,000 uncommons, that's too much, I would say, for 30 gems or for 28 gems. That one looks funny. You know what this looks like? Cryptos are us. That looks like George, just with more hair. No hard feelings. I like the guy, but it kind of reminds me of Cryptos are us. Charles Munns, okay, that's only 400 on the ultra rare, and then we have 88. So the chase factors here for the Kevin. That looks like a Kevin. So they made the same joke, like with you remember the drop with the chicken? James says skip Brazil all in Omni, go to Brazil 10x. Well, I don't know if that gamble pays off and how long I would have to wait. Also, my girlfriend probably will kill me if I do that. Italy for me always worth it. That's true. Italy was awesome. The only thing that I don't get is how you can eat so much carbohydrates with so little protein. And I mean, probably the average Italian eats differently than the tourist, but you're like pasta, pizza, right? And then on the pizza there's some ham, some prosciutto, right? But that's not enough protein for sure. Whereas when you go to Brazil, it's like, oh, how can you eat so much protein without other stuff, right? You have churrasco and stuff like that. And you're just eating protein in the south of Brazil. That's crazy. Yeah, also in German food, like you go to Bavaria, it's like you get this big, what is that called? Like pork chops, what is that? What is the name? Pork knuckle, stuff like that. And then it's like, oh, you want to have carbohydrates with it? Here is a liter of beer. That's the Bavarian region, at least. Yeah. OG 90% George. Yeah. True, the opposite of German food. Can you bench press 80 kilos? Can you bench press 80 kilos with or without the bar? With the bar, I think if you calculate, so the bar is usually like 20 kilos. So I would have to put 30 kilos on the sides. I probably will be able to do some reps out of that, but I'll probably fall short of or a couple of kilos of that. But I will try it. I haven't done bench press for a while. I only did like the free weights. Which is where I'm using 25 kilos each handle. So yeah, that would be only 50, right? So there's a little bit missing. I eat pork chops. Yeah, me too. I like meat. That's just the truth. If someone would force me to be vegan, that would be bad. That would be really bad. Anyways, we had some pretty big sales again on Veve. One of them being the Miles Morales, number 53, being sold at 7,500. And I'm not sure. I think the 53 is the one that someone accidentally sold for 9 gems or so instead of 9,000. And then some guy sniped it, and now he finally made the monies, I think. So yeah, that is a big sale. So maybe we can also look at, I don't know, Stacker was okay. Stacker is working. So here we see the sales. Also here, that's the Miles Morales. That's another Miles Morales, by the way. This is number 175. So we have but that's 3 days ago. So this is the 53 that sold, and after that, so this is today. an hour ago, we have the Spider-Man secret rare selling for at least 2,500, I would say. So this is significantly down. That was trading at 5,000. Would you like to live somewhere else in the future, or do you want to stay in Germany? I mean, I cannot foresee future developments, so it depends a little bit how this country develops, but I tend to want to stay in Germany. Now that it also depends on when are you asking. For example, you're asking a guy that has like that wants to have kids, right? Okay, which is me. So I want to have kids, so I would like to raise them in a safe environment with a good educational system. And Germany has that. And the weather is fine, right? It's not the best, but it has that. So for me, Germany is good for now. On the other hand, if you ask me, I'm 60 years old, kids are grown up, living their own lives, out of house. Would I be living close by a beautiful beach, somewhere in Brazil, with all the good food? Sure, right? I could get behind that, right? So, but that's also 30 years out. Who knows what happens until then, right? The death of fiat money, World War IV, I don't know, right? So you don't know. James Nguyen, almost correct. Guten Tag. Yeah, Guten Morgen. That was correct. Omi has been the most patient hodl ever for me. In it since 0065. Still patient. Me too. I think I got into that. I bought a lot around 005, so I'm down pretty bad. And now it's time to reduce the average. Troy Paris says you look great for 60. Thanks, man. Yeah. That's yeah. That is the cursed. Well, so I think that's basically it. But some sales rolling in here. Are you scared of war? I think everyone should be scared of war. But am I scared that this war is going to happen? Not really. I don't see it quite yet. I mean, if there was something like that happening, we had plenty of reasons to go into such a thing. But it seems that the world, at least at the moment, is always on edge for such a war, and then it's just not going through with it. Could it happen? Yes. I think everyone should be scared of war happening in where they live, and work on the financial means of getting away from it as fast as possible. Even though I served in the German army, I would consider myself someone that is really, really, really hardcore anti-war. And I probably see it from this perspective. War is young people with a future going to kill other young people with a future for old people that are making the politics, right? So if I would put it radically, I'd say the next time there is a war, we should just give all those old people in politics an assault rifle or a machine gun or a tank or whatever, and say, go do it yourself. Why do you have to send a guy that is 18 years old for the agenda that you have? Just do it yourself. Yo, Troy Paris, thank you so much for the $20 donation again for the comic fund. So that brings us to 40 gems already. Wow, that's some serious comic fund already. So let's I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. Benjamin Button, Trucking Hank, what are you saying? I'm not Benjamin Button, okay? Although aging reverse is kind of cool when you're already... That would be cool, right? But not to a certain extent, not. If you are decreasing until you're a baby, that's not good, right? Thanks for the comic fund, Troy Perez. That is awesome. Yeah. Anyways, I've already talked too much about this whole thing, philosophy. That's at least my take on the war topic. It's just not great. And for me, it was enough to see a simulation of how it could be. Right, when I was at the army, there were some simulations on how a battle in a forest or in an like at a base would look like. Yeah, and that was enough for me, right? I don't need to have the real experience, to be honest. I'd rather much see crypto go crazy. We're all going to make it and be wealthy. That's what I want to see. Each and every one of you guys, the 36 people here, just be wealthy and live a good life with, I don't know, big boat in the Adriatic Sea, something good to eat every day, wife changing wealth, right? Everything of that. I wish that for each and every one of you. Okay, Alan Thompson going off to work. Me too. Good day, mate. So, guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon.